Third video. Neat. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. My name is Noah, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of my creations. God Complex. This is a game that I've been slowly working on for just over a year now, and it's really come a long way since the beginning. And I mean, a really long way. This has really been one of my favorite games that I've worked on so far, and honestly, guys, I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's go ahead and just dive right in and take a look. In God Complex, you take on the mantle of a new god trying to create your own perfect paradise. And in order to do this, you simply have to shift the landscape and connect your holy site to the focal point of the world, that being the Divine Forest. Now, of course, it isn't much fun if you have no opposition, which is why this game is actually playable with 2 to 4 players. And your goal is to either eliminate the other would-be gods, or to be the first player to connect your holy site to the Divine Forest. But Noah, I hear you ask, how do you eliminate a god? Well, I'll tell ya. You just gotta take the Divine Forest and flip it over, get the cursed wasteland, and put it next to a holy site, and it corrupts the holy site. It's really very simple. It's not that complicated. Now, of course, this does seem very simple and not that complicated, but that's because I haven't told you how to move the tiles yet. You see, each tile can move into empty spaces that are right next to it. I'm going to be using the word adjacent a lot, so get ready for that. But they also each have unique properties, and these properties affect how the tiles move and what happens to the tiles around them. You could almost think of it like chess, but instead of only 2 players, you can play with up to 4, and instead of only 6 pieces, there are 20 unique pieces. And this is really what I like to think of a strategist's dream come true. With so many variations of pieces, there really are numerous strategies and gambits to be played, and an equal number of counters to each strategy. It's a game that you're really going to want to constantly morph and update and adjust your strategy, and for me personally, I just find that to be so incredibly engaging and fun. But hey, you guys let me know what you think. Are you a fan of higher level strategy games, or do you prefer to keep things a little more simple? Go ahead and comment down below and give me your thoughts. I'm curious to hear. Now, I'm not going to go into detail as to what each tile can do. However, I will go over some of the basics. Each tile should be able to flip over or move into an empty space adjacent to it. Now, there are some special rules, like the volcano makes it so that tiles around it can't flip over, or the tundra makes it so tiles can't move that are next to it. There's a few different unique rules to each of them. But I do want to go into detail on a couple of them, that being the Holy Site, Corrupted Holy Site, Divine Forest, and the Cursed Wasteland. And we're going to go ahead and start with the Holy Site, and I'm going to read off of this terrain guide, which I have made so that you can refer to each tile. The Holy Site is the tile that represents each individual player on the playfield. Holy sites can be moved only by their owners into adjacent empty spaces, and it costs 0 action points to move your holy site. Then we'll go on to the Corrupted Holy Site. The Corrupted Holy Site can only swap places with adjacent movable terrain tiles. Flip the Corrupted Holy Site over if it's adjacent to a Divine Forest. However, you do not win the game at that point. And that is detailed in the actual rulebook. Then we'll go on to the Divine Forest. The Divine Forest tile can move into the farthest empty space. If this tile is adjacent to a player's holy site, that player wins the game immediately. Whether it be a 2, 3, or 4-player game, they win immediately. The Cursed Wasteland. The Cursed Wasteland tile can move into the closest empty space. If this tile is adjacent to a holy site, that player must then flip their holy site to the corrupted holy site immediately. In a 2-player game, that player would lose the game immediately. In a 3 or 4-player game, you still have a chance, however, it is very difficult to recover from there. Now, I'll go ahead and pop that terrain guide up on screen here, so if you guys want to go ahead and pause it and take a look at what each one does, go ahead, feel free, and we'll be right back. So that's all the tiles for you. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look into what a turn might look like when you're actually playing the game. And as player 2 in this example, I'm going to be bringing in a special guest to join us. Duckmobile. Hello, Duckmobile. Glad to have you with us today. You ready to play God Complex? Take it away. I'll take that as a yes. To start the game, you're first going to want to set up the play area. Now, you are going to need a flat surface for the game, so unfortunately it's not 100% portable. But I'm going to go ahead and run through and set up the play area, and we'll be right back. Now that we have the play area set, which I went ahead and just put all the tiles in this bag and drew them out at random and placed them in really no particular order. However, you will need to make sure that the holy sites are on either side. There's 2 empty spaces surrounding the Divine Forest, 5 by 9. But now that that's set, each player is going to go ahead and roll the dice that comes with the game. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the custom dice that I plan on using for the final production version of the game, but I do have this app. Now, this app basically allows me to create my own custom dice in the form of a digital spin wheel, so it does pretty much the same thing when I'm doing demos at least. But I'm going to go ahead and roll for myself. I am getting a 1, great. And then Duckmobile is going to roll as well. And Duckmobile, it's a 2. So Duckmobile goes first. Now, when the first player is decided, they're going to go ahead and roll again. And this is going to decide how many action points they get for their turn. Now, action points are used to flip over tiles and move tiles into spaces or activate the different abilities of the tiles. And at the end of your turn, the action points will reset, so you're going to want to make sure that you use them all up and don't waste any opportunities to set up your next move. Then simply take your turn. Tiles can never exit the preset area of 5 by 8, and all tiles can move into empty adjacent spaces unless they say otherwise. And once you've completed your turn, you'll pass the die on to the next player and allow them to take their turn. This will continue until only one player is left standing, or a player manages to place their holy site next to the Divine Forest. And that's it. That's God Complex for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Go ahead and comment down below what you think of the game. Does it look like fun? Can you think of any issues there might be with the rules, or, God forbid, does this game seem familiar to another that you know of? Let me know down below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe and give me that sweet, sweet YouTube engagement the algorithm loves so much. But yeah, that ought to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had fun, because I know I sure did. And I'll see you all next time.